Today I want to talk to you guys about having a spiritual calling. This is a recent discovery for me, like the light bulb came on. Um, and so I kind of want to talk about what that's like, and maybe you can relate. Maybe you have a calling yourself, and but maybe you don't have the words for it. So I'm going to try to go through what I've been experiencing, and hopefully that will help you understand what's going on. How do I know I have a calling? Because it's something that I have always felt in my bones. Like early in my life, I didn't know what it was. All I knew is that the job I had and the life that I was living never really fit. I never felt comfortable. And I didn't know what it was or why I was feeling that way. I've always been a spiritual person, but in my 20s, like Christianity was the only option. That's the best I can describe it. So I was a Christian for a long time, and I even thought that I was going to marry a pastor's son and be a pastor's wife. But that never felt like home either. I never felt like I fit in there. Ever. And some people may come across as, oh yes, I have this spiritual calling and it's all great and fantastic and life is awesome now. But what they don't tell you, and the things that I'm sharing with you, is like there is a dark part of the spiritual awakening when you realize that you have a calling, and then you decide that you are going to answer that calling. And with that comes the spiritual awakening. With that comes the messy middle, which I have made a few videos about and which I will make more about. So a spiritual calling can be like a fire that is deep in your bones. And you, no matter what you do, you can't extinguish it. It always ignites again. It might lessen, it might burn down to embers, and then you try to conform, basically, but then something happens and that fire is ignited again. So we finally give in, start down the path, our spiritual journey. We have an awakening, and I've explained I think a few videos about how that can look. So you start down your path. You have a spiritual awakening. At first, you can see how the things that are happening in your life need to happen. You can see their purpose, more or less. You know that at the end of it, everything's going to be great. So you can take a breath. I got through that. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't terribly difficult either. So now it's kind of like smooth sailing for a little bit. You're still not 100% in your calling, but you have real world obligations like kids and or a job that pays their bills. You have a family, a husband, a wife, a partner, children, possibly a job. Like I said, you've got real world obligations. So you can't just quit life and go sit on a mountaintop. That's the reality. Very few people have that kind of privilege to be able to do that. So you kind of conform, you settle down, you've got a job to do. So you just put the blinders on and you start doing that job. But then the feelings start again. You're discontent. You're not feeling fulfilled. Something seems to be missing. So you decide that now, okay, I'm going to deepen my journey to really find out what your calling is, because you have one. So you do more personal and spiritual work. Maybe you start going to see a therapist to help you figure out some things. Things start getting bumpy again. It's rougher this time because now you're digging deeper, and it's harder. So, and maybe during this time you've got friends that fall away. Maybe you lose a job. It could be a number of things that intensify this second phase / transition. Maybe it lasts longer this time also. But things again even out. You can breathe. You look around. Things look and feel different. You nod. Okay. All right. I get it now. Why I had to go through these things. And it's kind of like what happened that first little descent. Right? Life's pretty good at this stage. You're happy, and things are going good. You feel like you've turned a corner, right? No. Then that feeling starts again in the back of your mind. And at this point, you may finally acknowledge it again, and you start the journey of discovering again. And you go deeper still. This time, the road gets rough again. You expect that. But then the bottom falls out. Like, completely falls out. And it is scary. It is hard. And maybe you can't see any benefit to the hardship and struggle that you are experiencing right now. Now we have landed smack dab in the middle, messy middle part of your transformation, spiritual awakening, initiation, whatever you want to call it. It's dark. You can't see a way forward, but you also know you can't go back. And I've talked about this before. So this is where things are unnerving, things are terrifying, infuriating, confusing, and it's just a cluster, right? You get flashes of who you're becoming, and then you also get flashes of who you were. You're in between, again, the messy middle. This is the hardest part of the journey. And I've been sharing this with you guys, so that's how I know. And this is where I am right now. This channel, the products that I'm making, and all the ideas that I have in my head, that is my calling. Talking about Hecate, talking about the messy middle and how to navigate it. And messy middle, I really am trying to find a better term for that, because it doesn't convey the gravity of it, the weight of being in the middle of your spiritual awakening. So I'm trying to come up with something else. Somebody in the comments had mentioned that it's a remodeling, a renovation, if you will. So things are chaos, absolute chaos. It's uncomfortable, all of those things. These videos about the middle part of transformation, while may not be the most viewed content that I have, these are also the videos that get the most engagement. So I know that this stuff is resonating with you guys. So I'm going to continue making these videos. And as I share this journey with you, I'm trying to help other people like me, so we can help each other navigate this hard, dark part of your spiritual awakening. And that's why I keep continuing to do this. So I am kind of taking notes. I'm gathering some things together. I'm thinking of a mini course or something that can help us navigate this. I don't know what form that's going to take. I don't. But as soon as I have it all figured out, you guys are going to be the very first to know. Okay? So I'm thinking that there's might be some rituals that I'm going to come up with, journal prompts. I'm at the point right now in my journey that affirmations, while they have a point and a purpose, but right now that's not That's not where it's at, because right now where I am in this journey, they also feel a little bit like spiritual bypassing, and I am not trying to do that. So when I get it all together, I hope you guys find them helpful. This is my calling. I am now so certain of it that I can't I can't not do it. Like, it is living in me, and it just needs to come out. So this is what I have to do. I have to I have to do it. I'm a Hecatean witch, and Hecate walks with me down this road. And it's with her help that I have realized that this is my calling. It's not something that I'm doing for fun. It's not something that I'm doing for clout. This is not something that I am doing to make money. And I don't know if anybody else can relate to this. It's just this thing in me that is alive that needs to get out and shared with the world, and to let other people know that you are not alone and that this is actually normal. People just don't talk about it. And I personally do not understand why people are not transparent about how hard a spiritual awakening can be. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm making these videos, to help you guys navigate this area if that's where you're at. And for those who may not be there yet, also to shine a light. I'll stand by the path with torches and keys to help you navigate this part of the journey, because it's a lot, and I feel there needs to be support for those of us who are going through it. I had to pause for a little bit, and I've kind of lost my train of thought somewhat. But basically what I want to leave you guys with today is, you don't have to walk through this blind. You don't have to walk through it by yourself. If this video has resonated with you, leave a comment below, because I am working on something that hopefully will help you as much as it's starting to help me. Now, that's kind of the end of my main message today, but I want to share something with you guys. If you've stuck with me this far, I mentioned that I'm working on creating a mini course. That's true, but I'm actually working on something bigger, significantly bigger. And I got this idea because I was creating something for myself to track my analytics on YouTube, and then I pivoted and I'm making something else. So if you're like me, you have 11 notebooks that are half filled with notes and correspondences and spells and rituals and all of these things. Maybe you can't find half of them. Like, I can't find half of them. Maybe you have a half-started grimoire that you're like, oh, this is going to be beautiful and fantastic, and then that's not done. And for me and my brain and how my brain works, I can't hold all of the correspondences for the herbs that I use, for the crystals that I use, for like the candles and the colors and tarot. I can't hold all of that in my brain. And like I said, I have 11,000 half filled out notebooks. I've got various forms of grimoires. Somewhere half of them are in storage. I can't find them. I don't have one space for them that I can search and that will help me put together a spell or a ritual. So I have made something called the Spellcrafter's Codex, and let me tell you what this is, what it's going to be. I'm just about done with testing. It might still be a couple of weeks out, maybe even a month. But what it is it is a software program that I am creating myself from scratch in Python, and it will hold your herbal correspondences, your crystal correspondences, um, elements, colors. Some of this is going to be pre-filled. Like I have like 5 herbs and 5 crystals that will be preloaded into this program. But the key part of it is this is not software as a service. There's going to be absolutely zero monthly fee. This is going to live on your computer. So there's going to be no bloatware. There's going to be no tracking. It is going to be 100% private. There is also a section that I built where you can type in your intention and it will pop up with the herbs, the colors, the crystals that you can use to create a spell. The kicker is this is not going to come pre-filled. This is not a fancy Excel spreadsheet. This is like legit software, but it is for you to fill out yourself, because how I use rosemary might not be how you use rosemary. So it will be only as good as the information that you enter in. But once you have all of your things entered in and your notes, and I do have all of the tarot cards will be loaded in to this software with their basic meanings. So you can add your notes into the tarot. That's how it is right now. I'm really excited about it. I've been using it. I love how it works. I'm still entering in all my herbs. You can see my herb shelf back there. I've got about only 10 of them in there right now, but it's made by a witch, me, for other witches and practitioners. And the vision that I have for this is right now, yes, you can type in your intention, like you want to do protection. If you have entered in all of the herbs and all the crystals that you use for protection, those things will automatically pop up. So you don't have to go searching for that notebook that you know that you wrote them in, but you can't find. It's all going to be right there. Phase 2 is I'm working on how to make, like, using your own ingredients and what you have entered into this software, it will help you create spells and rituals. We're starting with intentions, but my dream for this is for it to be like a full-on magical, living, digital grimoire. There's going to be a section where you can write down your spells, write down your notes, what hit, what didn't, what herbs and stuff you use. That's all in future phases. Those aren't where it is now, but those are the things that are coming. I am super excited. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is not some fancy Excel template that I'm selling on Etsy for $25. This is a full blown software program that you get to enter your information in, like how you use rose quartz, how you use tiger's eye, how you use rosemary, how you use calendula, how you use thyme, if you use it. Fully customizable, for lack of a better term, because if there's something in there that comes preloaded and you don't want it in there, you can delete it and add your own things. That's what I mean when I say customizable. I'm so excited about it. And I hope that this is something that other practitioners want to use, because I've looked at Notion. I don't get how that works. I've looked on Etsy, and what's out there, they're PDFs. They are Excel templates. They are not interactive. And, you know, I've tried to use a couple, and, you know, yeah, they're cute, but they don't work for me. So I'm making this hoping that other people will find it useful. So that was kind of my big announcement that I shoved in here at the end. So thank you for watching this far. And the other thing, I made a post today I'm at 800 subscribers, you guys, and I cannot be more humbled. I cannot be more grateful. And that is only 200 subscribers away from 1,000. I am just floored and amazed. And I want to thank you guys so much, because I could not do this without you. Your comments have been so wonderful and amazing, and they have given me ideas for videos that will be coming. This video has gone on long enough, so keep an eye out for the Spellcrafter's Codex, because hopefully I'm going to be launching that in a couple of weeks. Keep your eyes out for that. And if that is something that you guys are interested in, if you like the idea of that, let me know in the comments. If you want some software like that, please tell me what you would like for it to be able to do, because that will help me build it for practitioners. I want your input desperately. So, and again, I'm 200 away from 1,000 subscribers. So if you are liking my content, if you got some value from this video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified. And then I will keep you guys updated on the Spellcrafter's Codex, and there are going to be more videos coming on the messy middle. We're going to get back into Hecate's epithets and her history. So just stay tuned. And again, you guys, thank you so much for your support and coming along with me on this journey. I can't tell you how humbled I am by it. So may Hecate's torches light your path, and we will see you next time. Stay blessed.